Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to the podcast. My name is Max. Today, I'm going to be talking about this video I just watched called Realizing You're in the Wrong House. It's from this guy called Calebcity. I've never heard of him before, but he's really funny. It's the first time I ever see anything from him. I liked the video. I thought it was smart. So basically, he's making this like social commentary on like I don't know, things that certain people do that just doesn't seem right. Like example, sleeping in bed with your shoes on, and there was shit like that. There was also cutting a hot dog like down the middle instead of sideways, and searching on Bing and instead of Google. Yeah, that's all crazy shit. I agree with him. I don't like any of those things that he doesn't like. I think all that stuff is funny. So the reason why I also chose to talk on this video is because I think it's a good video and I think it should be seen. But also at the same time, I have an actual real story that I think everybody is going to enjoy hearing. There was this time I actually did end up in the wrong house. So this is a 100% true story. It's going to sound like it's not true, but it is. So, all right, so let me set this story up for you guys. This was years ago. I was in my early 20s. I'm 40 years old now at the moment, but I was in my early 20s then. And back then I was living with a group of friends, one good friend, and then there was another buddy that was a friend of my friend's, and also his girlfriend and my buddy's girlfriend and etc. And at that time, me and my better friend, a good friend of mine, had a bit of a falling out. So we weren't talking that much. And I had taken off and I went to go live back at my mom's place. But I left all my stuff there. So I had to go back for my stuff like about a month later, I think. And when I went back for my stuff, it was in the middle of the night. We had kind of rented out a house, all of us. And I had the basement and they had the upstairs. So I did my usual thing. I had my key. I went downstairs. I let myself in from the basement. I went over to my room. My room was fine. I sat down there. I had a bottle of vodka twist. It was like this vanilla twist vodka that I had at the time that was out at it's called the SAQ around here. It's like a liquor store in Canada, in Montreal. So I sat back. I think I lit myself a joint, if I'm not mistaken, and then I was drinking this, and I was watching TV in my room, and everything was cool, and everything was just normal to me. And then I decided, hey, I'm going to go upstairs, and I'm going to get myself a bite to eat. Probably I was going to make myself like ramen noodles. I was like into ramen noodles with this like cheese mix anyways. So I was going upstairs to go look for that. And as I was going upstairs, the lights were all off. I started walking around and I don't know, something felt off. I couldn't really, at that moment, it wasn't clear to me, but something wasn't right. It was all dark. I was kind of looking around. I felt a little off. And then all of a sudden, the lights they all came on, bang. And this man just runs out of what used to be my buddy Glenn's room, but now it's this guy's room. So he just runs out and confronts me in the hall, right? And I'm standing like close to the kitchen. I'm looking around and I'm in shock. And I'm a little drunk too, a little high. And this guy is like, kind of like, hey, who are you? He has an accent. He's like, he didn't speak very good English. He was, I think, Lebanese or something like that. And he's yelling at me. And his wife is coming out of the room. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, the guy was holding a bat. He was holding some kind of a thing in his hand, like to attack whoever who he thought the perpetrator was, robber or something like that in the house. So I was like, I live here. And the wife wasn't back. And then the guy's son, who was like a little bit younger than me at the time, he just burst out of what was my other buddy's room. He bursts out, and now I got this guy in my face. And anyways, I had to explain to them who I was and that I thought I lived there still. But what happened was my buddy, he had moved out. We had like a falling out, and he just wanted nothing to do with that place anymore. And he actually spoke to the landlord and, without telling me, because we weren't talking, and the place was re-rented to somebody else. So there was all new furniture in there, everything except my room was kept as is because they were waiting for me to try to get a hold of me. He, I guess, didn't contact me because he was angry at me, my buddy, but supposedly the landlord was trying to contact me and stuff. But at the time, for whatever reason, I wasn't answering my messages. So it's kind of on me too. I'm not just going to blame my friend because, you know, he kind of like could have reached out to me and made sure that I found out what was going on, but he didn't do that. I guess he didn't think what happened was going to happen. Anyways, long story short, I was stuck kind of with these people, and then I had no place to go because I had left my mom's, and I wasn't going to go back and stay with my mom out of pride. Was trying to reach friends of mine, but at that point I couldn't reach anybody, so they told me, hey, you can sleep here one night downstairs in the room. And I actually slept there with these people that I don't even know who they are. They're not my family or friends or anything. I slept downstairs in my room. I closed the door. I locked the door, I'm pretty sure, or at least kept it closed and put something in front of it. And I slept there. And I called my buddy. I left a message in the morning. He was helping me move whatever stuff that I had left in there. But yeah, this is a true story. I actually walked into a house thinking I was home. Imagine that feeling. You think you're home. You think everything's good. You go to your room thinking everything's good. And then you go upstairs and it's not good. You're in somebody else's house, all new furniture. When the lights went on, there was a whole new couch there, new stuff on the walls. And yeah, this is a legit story. Anyways, if anything like that's ever happened to you guys or anything even similar, like I'm going to post this video on YouTube. It's also on Anchor, the podcast. So if anybody wants to comment and let me know anything story like that that's happened to you guys, please, I'd like to hear it. And that's it. Thanks so much for listening.